couple of fires before the word.
That's right.
Their first sentence is in what might be a stunning possibility of a development.
Right.
All right, here's my story. This is a good news story. An Arizona dog who was missing for 12 years went missing from the backyard, had a microchip when they first got it, the family did. An animal control officer found it and located the family and brought the dog home after 12 years. And the dog recognized the family members and was very glad to see them. And I just thought, that just warmed my heart. 12 years.
Any idea where?
Was he living next door for 12 years?
I don't know. I think it had tried to cross the border into Mexico, but had been returned because they don't mess around down there.
No, you'll be met by chihuahuas.
That's right.
Have you seen the Taco Bell commercials?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, those were genius back in the day. I don't know. I didn't read the story long enough to know what the dog
happened there.
12 years. You might not know.
12 years.
Dogs kill it a little hard for them to explain where they've been for 12 years.
That's right. Unless you're Scooby-Doo.
No.
Well, that was it. I just thought that was a good news story.
That is a heartwarming story.
Yeah.
Not a heartwarming, but a
heartwarming
story.
Heartwarming.
You know. All right. See you tomorrow, everybody. Have a great day.
Did you know the abortion pill accounts for over 50% of all abortions? Preborn Ministry continues to stand with women in crisis in their darkest hour and bring hope and life. After Marissa took the abortion pill, she immediately regretted it, but Preborn was there for her.
Look at that baby. Look how beautiful he is. Look at that. Abortion pill reversal actually works. Let's hear his heartbeat. Oh, look how strong it is. Oh, praise God.
By God's amazing grace, this baby was saved, but many more need our help. To learn how you can be a part of rescuing babies' lives and sharing the heart of Jesus, go to preborn.com. That's preborn.com, or dial pound 250 and say the keyword baby. That's pound 250 and say baby.
Hello, this is Tim Wildman. You know, George Washington, the father of our country, without him, there would be no United States of America. His story is quite remarkable. Well, guess what? On our Spiritual Heritage Tour in 2024, we're going to be visiting George Washington's Mount Vernon mansion and estate. It's a wonderful time spent there at George and Martha Washington's home. That's just one of the things that we'll do on our Spiritual Heritage Tour of Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. We're also going to Colonial Williamsburg, Jamestown, and Yorktown. So, for all the information on the Spiritual Heritage Tours with Tim Wildman, Allison Wildman, Stephen and Beth McDowell, just go to the website, spiritualheritagetours.com. Those are the 2024 trips, spiritualheritagetours.com.
You know, it's true. Difficult times have a way of focusing us. We have to think about what matters most when it comes to our spending, our healthcare. This is why so many people are joining Medi-Share right now. Medi-Share is a trusted way to save up to 50% on your monthly healthcare costs. More than 400,000 people have already made the switch. It's pretty obvious why, too, especially now during this challenging season with healthcare costs and out-of-pocket expenses going up. Medi-Share can save you a lot of money. The typical family saves $500 a month. Medi-Share works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. There are different options to choose from to fit your budget. I'll give you the number here in a second, and if you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Maybe now is the perfect time to make the switch and start saving. Here you go. Call 833-44-BIBLE. That's 833-44-BIBLE. 833-44-BIBLE.
If you were moving to another part of the world, you'd pack based on where you were headed. You wouldn't want to pack snowsuits, mittens, and winter boots if you were planning to spend the rest of your life in a tropical paradise. So why do so many people who are planning to go to heaven burden themselves with behaviors, lifestyles, and habits that they wish they didn't have when they stand before the holiness of Christ? One of the reasons to embrace holiness is that it prepares us for eternity. J.C. Ryle said, "Without holiness on earth, we shall never be prepared to enjoy heaven." The Apostle Peter talks about our heavenly home. He says, "Since you're waiting for these, be diligent to be found by him without spot or blemish." Is there a habit or a choice in your life that you'd be ashamed of when you get to heaven? Why not repent? Take another step in preparing for your eternal home. With Seeking Him, I'm Nancy DeMoss Wagamuth.
This is Walker Wildman with AFR, and we're sending Bibles. Here's Michael with Bible League International.
Walker, in the Middle East, a 19-year-old Muslim named Ari accepted the invitation of a Christian friend to attend a Bible study. She would receive Jesus as Lord and Savior, but her radicalized father, when he found out, beat her nearly to death and called the authorities to report her as an infidel. They took her away to a remote cell where they violated her, they beat her, they tortured her, even pulled fingernails out of both hands. They let her go, but she did not grow bitter. She grew bold, and with others in her evangelical church there in Egypt, have led 300 people to Christ, many of these former Muslims, some radicalized, and they're praying for Bibles. Listen, every gift made today will be doubled, and our prayer is that you won't merely say that's an interesting story, but you'll get involved.
$5 sends one Bible. Yes, that's $5 for one Bible. $100 sends 20, and $500 sends 100 Bibles. Give generously at 800-YES-WORD, 800-YES-WORD, or visit sendbiblesnow.org. Sendbiblesnow.org.
God doesn't condemn people just for having money, even a lot of money. In fact, God sometimes uses riches as a way to bless us. So when does wealth change from being a blessing to becoming a roadblock to faith? We'll find out today on Truth for Life. Alistair Begg is teaching from the opening verses of chapter 5 in the book of James.
I think it is vital that we have a more comprehensive understanding of what the Bible in total has to say about poverty and wealth. First of all, the Bible doesn't cast any aspersion or suspicion upon riches in and of themselves. The Bible does not cast any aspersion or suspicion upon riches per se. Secondly, the Bible consistently warns against and condemns the vices which are the snares of the rich. 1 Timothy, at the end of 1 Timothy, Paul is giving to young Timothy all these instructions, and he gives instructions concerning those who are actually rich people in his fellowship, and he exercises a warning for them. And it reads as follows: "Command those who are rich in this present world not to be arrogant, nor to put their hope in wealth, which is so uncertain, but to put their hope in God, who richly provides us with everything for our enjoyment." In other words, the rich are not denounced for being rich, but they are warned about yielding to the temptations to which the rich are prone. There are peculiar vices that are the snares of those who have. Thirdly, the Bible teaches us that godliness with contentment is great gain. We're still in 1 Timothy 6. In fact, we're quoting the 6th verse of 1 Timothy 6. Godliness with contentment is great gain. Contentment is the opposite, if you like, of covetousness. Covetousness is a form of idolatry. Idolatry is sin. And in verse 8, if your Bible is open, you will see that Paul says, and I can tell you what you need in order to be contented. If we have food and clothing, we will be content with that. One of the loveliest things that happened on our trip, and we were traveling with a company of people, was to see a teenage girl, 16 years of age, very American, at the end of a day, walking through these villages, reaching down and taking off her Nikes that had been purchased for her by her father in Nordstrom's in order to go on the trip, taking them off and handing them to a girl of similar size and stature who was a Haitian girl that she'd met in the village. It just suddenly struck her. Why should I have all these shoes? And this girl walks in her bare feet. You can have my shoes. You see how messed up we are? If we have food and clothing, we will be content. That is an alien concept, isn't it? Fourthly, the Bible teaches us that riches are an expression of God's kindness. They're not the only expression of God's kindness, nor even would we say they're the supreme expression of his kindness, but nevertheless they are. We saw that in the reference to Job there in James 5. And also we picked it up, didn't we, here, as he makes it clear that God richly provides us with everything for our enjoyment. Verse 17. You see, if we get this wrong, we go severely wrong. We go severely wrong. It is an expression of God's goodness to us that we have these things. And if we fail to recognize that, then we will become inherently masochistic, or we will deny the benefit of the things, or we will be constantly running down everything we have. Oh no, this doesn't mean anything to me. Oh no, I don't want this at all. No, I don't really enjoy this. Tell the truth, of course you do. It is lovely to have a nice meal. It is a wonderful provision of God. It is a peculiar thing to have running water, and for that we ought to be thankful. It is super to be able to live within the framework of these things. God gives us these things richly to enjoy and more besides. God is not a killjoy in relationship to these things, and his perspective on wealth and goodness and provision is not marred by our inability to understand the framework of his purposes. God who sovereignly bestows things for us to enjoy may sovereignly take them away so as to teach us to enjoy him and not to enjoy them. And if we start to love them rather than love him, he may have to take them away so as to show us that ultimately our only joy is in him. And I will trust in you alone. I will trust in you alone, for your endless mercy follows me. Can't say that if we are trusting in something other than God. If we have food and clothes, if God blesses us and provides us with riches, we see it as an expression of his kindness. Fifthly, the Bible teaches us that there is a peculiar responsibility that falls to the rich. That falls to the rich. We're still in 1 Timothy 6. Command them to be good, to be rich in good deeds, and to be generous and willing to share. And interestingly, verse 19, in this way they will lay up treasure for themselves as a firm foundation for the coming age, so that they may take hold of the life that is truly life. It's not our purpose to expound this, but it is interesting, isn't it? What James is saying, what Paul is saying is that when we go into our earthly treasure, and we take from our earthly treasure in order to benefit those who live with earthly impoverishment, while we are removing from the bank of earth, we are actually depositing in the bank of heaven. Isn't that what he's saying? We take it out of here and give it there, and people say, are you crazy giving all that away? You say, no, you don't understand. There's a test at the end of this life. There's a terminus to which we're coming. There is a payday that will come. None of this will come with me in my coffin. None of it will come with me in my coffin. Therefore, I'm taking it now and I'm giving it here. And in actual fact, I'm making a deposit there. It's nothing other than Jesus. Lay up for yourselves treasures on earth and you'll have them eaten up for you, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven and you'll find that they do not fade away. The responsibility that falls to the rich then is clear. Once again, notice that there is no insinuation to the least degree that it is evil or wrong for them to possess these things, or that these things should be disavowed. If that were the case, then the whole letter would end in a different way, wouldn't it? Command those who are rich in the present world not to be arrogant, nor to put their hope in wealth, which is so uncertain, but to put their hope in God, who richly provides us with everything for their enjoyment, and command them to give it all away. No, he doesn't say that. He says command them to do good, to be rich in good deeds, to be generous and willing to share. Sixthly, the Bible teaches that it is difficult, but not impossible, for a rich man or woman to enter the kingdom of heaven. The Bible teaches that it is difficult, but not impossible, for a rich man or woman to enter the kingdom of heaven. Why is that? Well, you don't have to think about it very much, do you? The more you have, the more credit they'll give you. The more credit you get, the better cards you can have. The better cards you can have, the more you can take it around, and eventually you have no credit limit at all. And you can have a black one or a blue one or a green one or a red one, or you can have one with 007 on it, or you can do whatever you like, and you can go around. It gets you most places. Takes the waiting out of wanting. Improve now. Build later. I think that's Key Bank on the way to the airport. How am I going to improve now? Don't worry about it. Your credit's good with us. So the rich people figure, hey, I can get in everywhere. Do you take platinum? What? This is the gate of heaven, sir. No, American Express doesn't work up here. Well, it doesn't. Oh, it's Visa, is it? No, we don't use Visa either. MasterCard? No. Well, I've been able to get in most places in my life. You telling me I can't get into heaven? Well, not on that basis, you can't. Some of the men in the crowd called out, hey, Jesus, who can get saved then? And Jesus says, what is impossible with man is possible with God. And when I realize that everything that I hold dear and build my life upon counts for nothing before the entryway to heaven, that my credit is actually a debit, and I look then to find where the credit basis is found for entry to heaven, and I discover that it is in the person of the Lord Jesus. Paul had to come to understand that. All the things I counted as dear and as important and as relevant to me, he said, I now count them as loss for the sake of knowing Jesus Christ my Lord. Seventhly, the Bible teaches that God hasn't ordained equality of distribution, of gift or possession. It is clear from the reading